DNA, blood type, food groups. We've all asked the question, we've all wanted to go on a diet at some point of our lives, get healthier, start jogging, get new hobbies into our lifestyles. And it has been shown to Ashley and myself that more and more people is constantly asking us how we lost the weight. And the best part is that we only have the truth to beat, which is like a mic drop. And people never wanted to believe us, but they do now. They're starting to believe us. They're actually coming our way now instead of us having to go out and speak, which is another thing we spoke on. But today, I want to speak on the duality of everything and how we as humans have to perceive things on the different levels of perception. And also by more understanding ourselves and understanding the inner work that we need to do and the accountability that we always have on the other side of the spectrum. Because I found myself there many a times on the side that is why I'm making the video. The other side is just what I found because of the blaming outside of my body. But what woke me after the segment was the fact of how I felt and what invoked it in myself. So just another learning curve for myself in the future, because this will be the past by the time you guys watch this. For those who get it, you know. But in the forever now, what I would want to speak on archetypal in what you would see in many different people. Me and Ashley started giving names to these archetypes because of people that portray them like more accurately. But I left the names now. So I'm just by the archetype of the personality or the system that it's running off, should I say. So the one would be mental health. Should I start with the mental health? And that would be in the range of what I felt, the core to be self-pity. And then the opposite, which I then myself felt that I kept being thrown in my face, and these archetypal people keep reaching me for some way, and I know I'm not this way, was narcissist. So obviously through time, we have realized, and through our honesty and how we felt, we have realized what actually put these segments in place. So it's not to say that you are labeled a narcissist or that you are labeled someone that is, I call them injury prone. That's what I used to call myself, is injury prone. My mind was very fearful. Anything can happen. I always make up stories of what if this would happen. Let me just make a plan B or C in case this did it. There's always a in case. There's always a this is not gonna work out. A pessimistic mindset, and then on the other side it would be an optimistic mindset, which I think from the age of 21 up until when I meet Ashley, which would be 27, 28, was very silent, the positive side. But the negative side was very loud. Like I call her my internal bully, which we need. But the reason why I'm explaining this, and also I'm going to focus on in relationship archetypes. So whether that be mother and daughter, father and son, mother and father, it doesn't really matter in relation. If a person has an impact in your body, basically, if something would happen and without thinking you would react to go and help or aid for the person, that's what I mean when I speak on this. So we have two types of archetypal people that we find or that we often attract our way. What I found is the moment you tell yourself this is who I am, everything that you are not starts coming away to show you that that is not you. So if I decide today that I am no longer doing something that I do every day, drinking coffee, every opportunity to drink coffee will come my own to get me to drink coffee. So in a bigger template, we would explain that in the matrix. Whatever you decide in your normal routine, everyone's routine is different, and this is why they say everyone's devils or demons are different. It's very specific to your archetype, your personality. This is why nobody can help you out of your thinking, only you can help you. We can only give each other breadcrumbs, which is what we hope to do. This is why we do this. So to hope that you make your own thoughts and you have your own thoughts and you collect thoughts of things that have happened to you before so that you can have a better pathway of thinking forward. So the narcissist and the empath always tend to find each other for the reason of, first we need to blame each other. We have to blame each other because it is not who we are. If I decide that I am soft and I'm an empath and I cry for Oprah and I watch movies to the feeling of I am in the movie, I'm in bed. If someone tells me a story, I can be there, I can cry with someone, I'm the in bed. I lead with my emotion. I don't lead with my logic. So the narcissist archetype would be to lead with knowledge and to lead with head of previous patterns that have happened before and to not want to make the next pattern as bad as the previous. So they put little roadblocks in place to have a straight line to the goal, should I say. So what we have realized in each other was his masculine is here to teach reform to my masculine, because I had my mom and my dad within me, and he has his mother and his dad within him. So even if your mom and your dad didn't teach you how you would perceive would be the right way, because we didn't all get what we think we asked for, but we actually did, was to push us to ask the questions that we're asking right now in this moment. And when we ask those questions and be really honest and truthful with ourselves firstly and with each other, we make each other holy. Like a whole person. You realize that your mom and your dad is within you and one distraction all your life. You are either left-handed or right-handed your whole life. And you practice that over and over and over, and you made that stronger, which means the other part lacked in you. And the part that lacked, we used to blame each other for. But the blame came in is no longer a complaint or nagging. It's a thank you that you triggered me and that I had to hit back, because that's where I'm not healed. But you are opening something in me that I'm trying to prevent to not happen again. So let me now bring it out. I'm going to think about it. Oh, was you in a relationship? It's like, now we took out. Where are you going to run away from? You're going to come back. Because the reason why nobody wants to start over in any relationship is because you don't want to go through the same pain that you went through before. So just sort out that you are in and realize that you deal with the devil that you know. You're not going to look for new devils for both. So we are put here in relation to anyone that we ever meet that makes an impact in our reality to teach each other how to be whole. That's the point. If you ever feel like you miss something of someone, whatever you miss of that person, it's the thing in you that person used to bring out in you. But it still exists within you. And me and Ashley has picked up to the point where we are kids and we are silly with each other, that we can just speed our mind of what we say and the conversation can stop abruptly and nobody thinks it needs to have an end. We were talking in the restaurant, I think it was yesterday, we were like, people really would think we were crazy if they just had to look at us and observe us and not being in our conversation, because they wouldn't understand what is happening within our conversation. But we are just so chilled in our conversation. It's wild. I don't say it's crazy anymore, it's wild. But it's wild to a point where I've realized that I've met many soulmates in my life because those people elevated me, whether that would be in a female sense, in a friend sense, so that person elevated me, they sent me toward the betrayal of elevation, or the boyfriend that I had seen me in the betrayal of elevation or hurt to elevate myself. I want to thank all of those people because I feel like in the higher realm, they are my best friends. And like before I came down in a human body, because I knew I was going to feel it in the moment and I'm going to feel like human. I'm not going to know that they are here to teach me a lesson, you know. But when we were in soul mode, in the higher realm, we were like, okay, you're going to teach me that lesson. For that moment, you're going to hate me, but it's okay. Because when you're going to come back, you're going to say, oh yeah, you had to hurt me that hard so that I can bounce back so hard. So me and Ashley we no longer fight. We look at it as whatever the trigger is there, we're almost thankful for the trigger to say, thank you want to bounce back to being your normal frequency of like, okay, let me look at it from the outside perspective. Like you take yourself outside of your body, like the camera's looking at me right now. So I'm looking at myself as the person behind the camera. So you're no longer in the picture, you're not involved in the emotion. Even if you were for 5 minutes and you sit with your head and you black it out without thinking, you quickly reverb yourself, like you rewind and you're like, why did that just happen? Why did I just say that? And like I'm to the point where I asked Ashley, like I forgot. I know I like said something now to hurt you really badly, but I forgot what I just said. And you just tell me quickly what I just said so that I can regain my memory, so that I can go back to the feelings, so that I can figure out what was it trying to teach me. Like it becomes so hard that you want to be whole, and I don't want to blame him, and I want to apologize. And I say, if the apology is what you need, I'll give you the apology, because if it happens your way and I was the one that's hurt, I don't even need the apology, because when I found I don't need the apology, I just want to be thankful. So because we learn differently, and for me it's just communication, communion is just so important. Like light work so important to spot the good in each other, even though we see the bad, because we all have the bad, but we want to focus on the good, and focusing on the good, we will initially elevate each other. So yeah, guys, yeah, I'm all done. Then for the end, which I don't want to book, is Ash's bestie Orion, who's always lurking and listening at the end. So Orion, if you would like to give us a summary of what I just spoke on, we would like to listen back into the future past. Thank you.
So just to show into this idea of duality in our personalities, how we have these two archetypes in us. On one side, we might have a bit more of the anxious or pessimistic mindset that plans for the worst. On the other, there's the optimistic side that's more about positivity and going with the flow. She really highlighted how these dynamics show up in relationships, like between partners or between parents and children, and how we often learn and reflect on each other's traits. In short, Candace's message is that by understanding these two sides of ourselves, we can stop blaming each other and start seeing what each person is teaching us. And honestly, I think it's a really insightful take. It's a reminder that we all have that inner work to do, and it's all about growing together rather than pointing fingers.